My biggest exam mistake was history A-level. When I first sat it, I got a B in that exam, despite getting A stars in my other subjects and nines in my GCSEs. Now, I've had lots of time to reflect upon this. I since chose to resat it in my gap year and got an A. And what I want to do in this video is take the strongest lesson from that and give you guys some clear advice. I'm going to be talking about how preparing for the worst is actually really important in revision and how thinking you're going to fail can be a big advantage. If you're new here, my name is Henry Brand, and revision content aims at helping you, so please subscribe, leave a like, and now hype the video up. I still don't know what that does, but please do it anyway. Okay, right, let's get into this then. So the first thing I want to talk about is the mindset shift that I wish I had that is required to do this, and that is negative visualization. So philosophers did this and athletes do this, and it basically just means visualizing and preparing for the worst to happen effectively. So the reason why this is so important and so useful is because it's so much better to prepare for the worst and understand that you're very likely to get quite a hard paper across more than one of your subjects potentially, than going into an exam with extreme confidence, thinking that, you're really going to definitely get an A star. So that's kind of what I've thought for history. Throughout every single mock, for the whole 2 years of my A-levels, I got an A star in history. I sat a full set of mocks right before the exam. My teacher marked it. I think I got like 95%. So I was going into it thinking, right, I'm pretty confident for this exam. I felt like I was going to get an A star. And that really held me back because suddenly in the exam, I was hit with hard questions and it just all seemed to go wrong, right? So I wish, in hindsight, I was only 1 mark off an A as well. So 1 mark more and I could have got A star, A originally. And what I wish I did was just really started to criticize in a good way my revision so much more. That's what happened during my GCSEs. I loved criticism. I was always looking for it. I'm a GCSE history teacher. I remember she used to tell me, like, this isn't good. You need to improve. And I loved that. And I slightly lost that during my A-levels. So really think what could go wrong. And one of the ways that I'd recommend you do this is by actually coming up with some like hard past papers for you to do. I don't think enough students kind of create past papers. That can be really cool and good exercise to do. So when I resat history, I tried to come up with like the most horrible papers I could and practice those questions. So this is that negative visualization and applying it to revision ahead of your upcoming exams, okay? So try and think about, like, in science, what could be the worst paper possible for you? Like, is it really hard mathematical questions and topics that are really niche and random? Or, in English, what's the worst? Is it that you really don't like the story that you have to write? Or in maths A-level, do you get loads on this specific topic? The more you think about that and the more you try and expose yourself to hard questions, hard papers, the more exam resilient you're going to get, basically. So one thing as well that I often talk about is seek out A-star questions. There are lots of A-star maths papers online or grade 9 maths papers online that you can look at, but look at the hardest questions, the ones that are possibly even too hard to be in your exam, like those questions, and try and solve them. For my GCSEs, I bought like grade 9 question booklets for physics, chemistry and biology, and I started working through them. I was also trying to look at, the grade 9 maths questions. So find hard, be attracted to the hard, and that's going to make the easier, okay? So that's really important for you. Again, it's also important to acknowledge that being on edge is a good thing in revision. Like, there's a balance, right? You don't want to be overwhelmed, so you don't do anything. But going into revision thinking you're going to fail / not do as well as you want to is motivational. Most people revise because they have a fear of failure, or that's why, like, the people that usually get the lower grades end up revising. So that is important and that is relevant as well, to kind of like have some sort of fear that puts you on edge, that motivates you to revise. And that's why reframing it that it can be a positive thing is good, as long as you're not procrastinating and doing nothing. So confidence in exams doesn't come from hoping it will do well. It comes from knowing that you can survive and you can do well, even if it is a hard paper. So in short then, what I want to use this video for is just remind you that you've got to prepare for the hard questions and hard papers. That's the slightly scary thing about exams, right? If you're doing GCSEs, you might have up to 20, 25 papers. A-levels, up to 15 perhaps. And chances are there are going to be quite a few of them that are hard papers, that there's going to be some shocks in there. There's going to be things you feel unprepared for. So use this time to think about that, to build up that resilience, have that negative visualization. And all of this will prepare you it'll make you more resilient. It'll mean that you're unfazed. in an exam, because anything can happen in an exam. So that's why I wanted to put this video out there, is just to kind of remind you of that. If you found that video helpful, then please leave a like, please subscribe. If you want to see more of these type of like motivational coaching videos, then please let me know. And please always comment what video ideas you want to see. Now, the final thing as well is make sure to subscribe to my email list. I'll put the link in the description, but I just try and send out weekly emails full of all sorts of advice. And yeah, I hope you have a good day of your revision. I don't know why I said that at the end, but I hope you have a good, I don't know, I'll see you in the next video. That's what I usually say. I don't know why I switched that up.